two sessions, for the last two sessions, the recording is there. I'll put it up on the C11 WhatsApp group. I think most of the mentors already have that. Most of the startups already have the link for the mentors because they would have got a note from me today, a love letter from me today, right? How many of you have got it? Have you guys got it or you've not got it?
Yeah, I've received.
Yes, we got your mail.
You got my love letter. Okay, fine, good. Okay, anybody else? I think floor is all. Whose floor is it today?
Anjana, I haven't got a mail from you.
No, I haven't sent you because it's a consent note from the startups.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
So
sorry.
it is only to the startups. I needed a consent from them that we may record these things. We will introduce them to people. We can't be held liable. All of those things. That's what I meant.
Yeah, thank you.
It's more a statutory requirement from our US counterparts. They would like to have that, and just to be on the safer side. Okay, right. So Mona, you're starting. We can start now.
Okay, I think Mona has dropped out for some reason, so let me just take this over. As we just heard from Sanjay that Earth is having their 4th Foundation Day, so they may not be joining. Let's start with Divya on RTSS, or Redfind rather. Divya, you can put up your presentation and go ahead. The theme for today, as you all know, is value proposition. So our focus will be to see how the value proposition is represented, how is it differentiated, and over to you, Divya.
Okay, just hold on. I'm trying to pull up the presentation. Okay. So I hope everybody can see my screen well.
Yep.
All right. So today I'm going to talk about the customer value proposition for Redfind. The online fashion discovery is changing rapidly as e-commerce in India continues to evolve. Consumers find it hard to discover products. They constantly juggle between sites, searching for best products and deals, and they have a very fragmented experience. There are too many choices with millions of products, but it's very hard to discover what users really need or want. At the same time, brands struggle to be visible to users. The cost of customer acquisition is very high, ranging from anywhere from 30 to 70%. One of the most organic ways for users to discover brands is Google search, but SEO is expensive, uncertain, and long-term. Redfind is reimagining this fragmented shopping experience with AI. It is India's first fashion search and discovery platform that leverages artificial intelligence to deliver personalized product recommendations and deals aligned with each user's unique preferences and helps connect users to most relevant products and brands. Our intuitive and sophisticated search lets users search in their own ways. Users can search for something specific like a polka dot red dress under $9.99 or seek style inspiration by uploading an image to find exact or similar items. The platform aggregates a diverse array of products from various online retailers, allowing for exploration from multiple stores in one seamless interface. We use computer vision to find the same product sold at different stores, even with different brands or title, and provide a unified view of different price and size availability in a single click. While we bring this vast collection, we help cut the clutter through personalized recommendations. Our AI models recommend best deals for products based on their browsing and shopping history and those of other users similar to them. Users can subscribe to Price Drop or Sales Alert. on their favorites so that they never miss a great deal. So AI is redefining consumer behavior in a world overwhelming with choices. And Redfine aims to elevate shopping experience by harnessing its unlimited potential for e-commerce. India saw an explosion in internet users and e-commerce supported by digital economy and growing startup ecosystem. Number of online buyers in India right now are 250 million and expected to reach 425 million by 27. 100 million users were added in last 3 years alone. To cater to the growing needs of increasing online buyers, new stores are popping up every day with currently 20,000 online stores for fashion alone. In 2007, Myntra was the only major online store for fashion, but now there are multiple players as marketplaces and D2C, but there is no aggregator platform here. Increasing cost of customer acquisition for brands also demand for a platform where users can discover them without big marketing spends. So this is the CVP framework for user persona as online shopper. So do you want me to dive deep into this? Or I can get right to the...
Divya, you've got 20 seconds more.
Okay, so based on the exercise we did for CVP framework, we have crafted the value proposition statement for Redfind as following. Redfind uses advanced AI to help online shoppers who want to simplify product discovery and comparison to find best deals customized to their unique preferences by offering the most advanced product discovery platform, ensuring they don't miss best deals and options, unlike current shopping alternatives and Google search. That's all. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, let me go ahead. I think while your product is defined, as even in all of these things, a couple of things which is always important is to talk about. One is what is your revenue stream, and second is how do you define competition and how would you handle that? Anyway, you can just keep that answer. I don't need an answer right now. I just give you an observation.
Sure. Okay, thanks, Sanjan.
So Divya, just a clarification from me. This is more a recommendation and not a comparative price discovery mechanism here, right? It's more of a recommendation platform than a price discovery platform. How would you categorize it?
It's actually both. So think of it as a platform that provides an exhaustive shopping experience. So starting from discovery, where you figure out what do you need or what do you want to buy, and then through the journey to ending in decision. So it provides end to end. So to answer your question, it's actually both and more.
Yeah, the reason I said that was unlike some of the other similar platforms where fashion is a very difficult category where you will find the same product on 2 or 3 or 4 different platforms unless you are looking at a branded shirt or something like that, right? So yes. That's where the comment came in. But yeah, sure. I take your point. One can look at different styling for a same stuff, different price point here and compare.
Yeah, so the key here is actually we want to do the personalized recommendation to nail the relevance part. So when you search for, let's say, a shirt for office wear, it might mean different to you versus, let's say, Anjanda. So you might like striped and he might like solids. So when we show you products, we keep that in mind and rank those products and recommend the products accordingly.
And on what basis do you create user persona? Based on their past history or also take some unstructured data from their social media activity or things like that?
Yeah, so far we have not picked up social media, or we don't even look at what other websites they went to, because we also want to promise privacy and not be intrusive in everything that they are doing. So we are only taking into account what they're doing on our platform, what they're clicking on, what they're wish listing, what they're buying, and people similar to them. So if you like striped shirt and someone else likes striped shirt, so if they also liked something else, then that comes up in your recommended products. Okay, great question. Thanks, Sanjeev.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know, maybe Mentor would like to add something, it'll be helpful.
That's right, I was going there.
Yeah, hi, this is Rajiv. So, well, basically, we've been the major problem that we had is the time limit. We just 4 minutes we had to pack in a lot, especially when there is quite a lot of conflicting views on such a platform, a new product in the market. So it took a little bit of time to get it done. Then the other thing is, there's a new exercise, so and a new mentor-mentee relationship. So just started off. So hopefully we'll be able to refine the whole the whole presentation in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
Rajiv, I would like you to just talk about a couple of things. I mean, in terms of certain guidelines which a startup should follow when they're working with the mentors. And you've been a mentor for us for a long time. Your experience and your do's, to-do's, not to-do's is something which will be very helpful in terms of the discipline, in terms of the rigor, in terms of the process the startup should follow along with the mentors. From my side, I'll come back to that last, but maybe you and Tarun, I would like to invite you both to just talk a little bit on this one before we take up the next startup.
Okay, I think what I know from the rest of the mentors I've met over here, everyone invests a great deal of time, effort, and energy into the mentoring process. And the first thing that the mentee needs to do is respect that and appreciate that. I had the experience where the mentees didn't take things seriously, and they just thought that it's their right and they're doing us a favor. But in IT startups, 99% of the people I came across really appreciated the whole process. So first thing is the mentee must do is appreciate the effort that the mentors are putting in. In the first meeting, it would be nice if you set a framework for the mentoring program, like fixed timings, the agenda for the session, the way you're going to interact, the feedbacks, etc., etc., etc. It will be very important that both the mentee and mentee be frank and honest with each other. And the mentees should take any criticism as constructive criticism and not as an offensive one. The mentor would also have to do a lot of research and studying, so the first 2-3 weeks is going to be a little bit tough, and the mentee could help the mentor also do his research, learn about the sector, etc. These are the basic things which I have to say. Fixing a time schedule and keeping that would be very good. And both the mentors and mentees are busy people, so it's very difficult to have a fixed schedule. So we could be flexible, but having a time schedule, having a framework, maybe having a template, or even having a joint Excel sheet to track the whole process would be good. Yes, Anjana.
Thank you so much. Tarun, would you like to add something, or you want to go
Yeah.
in later on?
It's okay. I can add maybe 2 minutes. So I think all these startups need to understand the role of a mentor. See, generic, I think everybody understands. In context of this program, the mentor is going to be there with you, hand holding this entire program, of 8 to 12 weeks. So therefore, now every session, now there are tasks which are there, which you have to do. So my suggestion would be that, ahead of the session, whatever is the, homework, so to say, which has been given, assignment which is given there. So please discuss with the mentor. Then after the session, once the feedback is available, it'll be good to wrap up, 10 minutes or so with the mentor. Could be through email, messages, phone call, whatever. That is point number one. Point number two, I'd like to again emphasize that, please take the initiative and, interact with the mentor. It should not happen the other way around, that the mentor is chasing you. Okay, because it's for you at the end of the day. Number two. Number three, please take the critical comments, because they are done because mentor is interested in you to improve. Okay, because time is limited. So it's, sometimes, at least in my case, I can tell you, there's not enough time to sugarcoat. You just give a, feedback, and which can be discussed and debated. Last but not the least, typically I would say, threshold is about, 1 to 2 hours a week we can expect. But as Rajiv said, that set your own schedule with the mentor. It could be more or less depending on the availability, and I think everybody will be flexible. So these are some of the things I would, give as suggestions. Rest, of course, it depends on the chemistry between the mentor and the respective startup.
Yeah. So one more thing, can I just add this? When you have your preliminary meetings, it is good for the mentees also to share their maybe the difficulties, share the stories, share the difficulties they have, the pain points they have, and so that the mentors can also prepare. If the mentor has a better understanding of the challenges that the mentees are going through, it will be easier for them to plan and work accordingly and find solutions for the challenges that they face. This is very important. A frank conversation. So mentor-mentee has to be partners in the whole process. It cannot be, a business relationship or a formal relationship. They have to work as a team, and that's very important. Yeah, thank you.
I would like, because I think we will run out of the time, I would like to add two, three small things. One, see, mentor is not God. Mentor is like any of us. So there could be some issues, some areas where the mentor may not know something, but he would be happy to help you in finding a solution around that. So please talk to your mentor and let him talk about giving a solution. Otherwise, you can always reach out to us, but I would request you to try to keep your mentor in the loop if you're trying to look at some other areas. So suppose one of your objective is to find out how can I get a market in Assam. So maybe your mentor may not know that, but there could be somebody else in the group who do know that. So, but your mentor should know that you're looking for that specific information. That's one. Second is, please respect the time which everybody has told, not more than 1 to 2 hours in a week. And this is on greatest during the cohort time. After that, there would be a commercial relationship between you and mentor if you want to take it further. That's for you and the mentor to take it forward. Okay, that's all I would like to say, and we can continue with the next startup. Thanks.
Thank you, Anjita. Our next startup is Fabiosis. Yati?
Sanjeev, he sent a message on the group that he is not well, so he's not going to join.
Maybe I missed the message, Gautam.
No, he just sent it. So I can just update that I've had a preliminary call with him. And so we still have to work out, like what Rajiv said, the scheduling and the rhythm for relationship. We have not worked it out. But I guess once he understands, we will work it out. So that's all I can say.
That's good that you have a connect and there are preliminary discussions, Gautam. Thanks. So the next one on the list will be Pushkar Fusion Apps. I'm a mentor to this, so Pushkar, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Sanjeev ji. Good evening, everyone. Let me just share my screen. So Fusion is a no-code platform which helps.
Pushkar, just 1 second. Sorry, this is Tirumala here. One quick pointer to all the startups is, before you deep dive into the value proposition, make sure you are giving us a good view of who is your customer, who is your core customer, and the person of the customer. Right?
Yeah. So Fusion is a no-code platform which helps users to build simple SaaS apps without any coding. So our users are basically non-technical SaaS founders who don't know coding, but also small business owners who want to bring digitization to their business and cannot afford something like SAP or Oracle. So they also use Fusion to build simple apps in quick time and also at low cost. So the problem that non-technical founders usually face is they struggle to find developers who are capable, reliable, and also available at the same time to work on their ideas. So uh, typically they'll go to software developer agencies to get their MVP developed, but this option can be expensive depending on who you're working with, and definitely it will always have upfront risks that you need to do upfront investments. So for example, if you have certain budget to go into a SaaS business, software development cost will eat up most of it, so you don't have enough left to do with GTM and getting early traction and validation. So that can actually prevent many startups just at the idea stage. Many ideas actually get killed because they don't have enough budget. So that is the problem that we are trying to solve. So our solution is very simple. It's a no-code platform where anyone wants to develop a simple app, simple web app. They can sign in, they can follow certain user guides and develop an MVP all by themselves. So this will help them to avoid upfront cost. First of all, it will minimize the risk of getting into a new business. So they can use their startup capital in a more efficient way. They can use it to validate their idea and also maybe get a few customers and get some feedback from them. And small business or owners can also use the same platform to bring digitization to their business while not breaking the bank. They can find very cost effective. They can build very cost effective solutions on our platform. So Fusion, as I said, it helps you develop apps without any coding. And over the last couple of years, that expectation has been growing since people saw that ChatGPT can write pieces of code. So people are expecting that maybe in 1 or 2 years, they'll be able to develop their apps without having the need to go to a developer. And that is true to a very large extent even today. So because of AI integrations, a lot of the limitations that used to be there on no-code tools, they are getting lifted, they're getting minimized. So that's why it's a good time for people to invest in no-code platforms, invest their time and effort in learning no-code and developing their apps by themselves. So if you look at the value proposition canvas, I've actually prepared a couple because we are actually looking at two customer personas. Our main focus is on SaaS founder who is looking to build an MVP, validate their idea, get maybe first few customers and raise capital. And so the pains that they're facing is they want to avoid upfront risk. They want to avoid the risk of product failure. So they want to develop something that would be reliable, which would work in the real market. And they want to bring it very quickly to the market because time is also cost. So they want to minimize that. And on the upside, also they're looking at minimizing their financial risks, and they're looking for solutions that would be affordable in the long run. So what we are providing is a no-code app builder. It's coupled with AI-powered customizations. We have a lot of AI integration, which offers them a lot of flexibility around the limitations of no-code. And we are also partnering with freelancers who will provide their app building services on our platform. So the platform remains very, very cost effective. So it has to be very, very affordable looking at our customer personas. The second customer persona is small business owner who is looking to bring digitization to his business. He's looking for improved productivity, and he will look to for revenue growth, or he will look for improvements in his bottom line. That is the whole purpose of that is the whole purpose of bringing in digitization. How this would differ from the earlier customer persona, they'll be looking at measurable ROI. If they're investing in certain app, definitely they'll want some return on those investments. They'll want something user friendly, because most of this the people many of the people who are working at these small business may not be very tech savvy. They'll need something very simple, and at the same time should be affordable. So these are a couple of customer personas that we're working with.
Pushkar, if you can try to wind up in 10-15 seconds.
Yes, and this is how we're helping them. Our no-code platforms helps them build their apps without any coding. It helps them minimize the upfront costs, get some traction, and go around the traditional means of software development. Thanks.
Sir, you took 5 minutes, 15 seconds today. Okay, just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thanks. Comments.
I just have a hygiene comment, if I can make. Pushkar, can you go to your first slide? Title slide. Okay, so that's it says cohort 10, you're in cohort 11. While later on you've corrected it. The reason why I'm mentioning this to you is that this is an example of that you need to pay attention to details. So there'll be many more formats, many more details required. So just take it that, just pay attention. That's
noted.
Yeah, and your presentation has to be in slide. It has to be in slide mode. No, in the which mode? Overall presentation mode, not slide mode. Yeah, correct. And
Anjanda, can I very quickly? This is a suggestion for all the startups who are presenting. What you have got is just a template. Okay, a number of slides with the content and some guidance on it. You can design your own slides. You can customize it. You can brand it. You can do that. You don't need to have the same, the white background, the blue line. You can change all that. There's no problem in doing that, and we encourage you to do that. Okay. The last slide which you have got, the value proposition. Yes. So the statement was given. The template was given like this. You can see the text in a gray color that is given so that you can add it, right? So that is your core message, and you should have highlighted it, maybe given a different color and all that. So
yes.
What is very important is the readability for the viewer, and that's very important. So when you design a slide, just ensure that the content over there is readable. That's very important. Okay. Yeah, thank you. And always have a script. Make a script first and then do the slides. It will make your life much easier.
Yes.
I have a quick question, Pushkar.
Yes.
Thanks for the presentation. So your presentation says within value proposition, you are helping SaaS founders and small business owners, right, in building their applications. Now the thing is, when you talk about applications, it's a very wide spectrum. It could be very low level complexity to a very high level complex app, right?
Right.
But within this value proposition, it isn't clear what do you mean by a SaaS application, what sort of application is it, right? And this kind of is confusing for me to, put your benchmark your tool across that spectrum. So I think if you could add a little more
Understood.
about what type of app your tool is helping to build,
Understood.
and that would be helpful. And why
Understood.
particularly SaaS? Because SaaS is not a not a type of application, it's a type of a business model, right? So what you are allowing is to build application and not a particular business model, right?
Right. So basically, to answer your question, we are helping build simple business process web applications. So I should be clear about that. You're absolutely right. So point taken. And I'm using the term SaaS because it's a very convenient way of. I mean, when I say SaaS, people usually imagine something like CRM or project management, which is what I want to convey in a very short way. But there are also, I understand your point. Maybe I could find some better terms.
Pushkar, one very quick question. It's just a doubt.
Yes.
I'm talking about your customers. So you're selling it directly to a business owner,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You're not selling it to, let's say, so there are a lot of these SaaS platforms available, right?
Right.
Where they may need, where it's maybe very convenient for the subscribers to create a mobile app. So what happens is that their consultant creates the mobile app for them, and it's very expensive.
Yes.
So do you think partnering with such SaaS platforms will give an edge to your subscriber and at the same time give you revenue also? It brings about a new market. So instead of targeting the subscriber directly, you go to him through these SaaS platforms. Does that make sense or?
No, totally. I totally agree. So these are like basically channel partners, which help us, which help us get more customers.
Not channel partners. They would be more like, you know, strategic relationships that you have.
Okay.
Not channel partners. They're not a channel partner, but basically what they will do is they'll give an option for the subscribers to use your services to build a mobile app for them. So there will be a bit of integration, bit of engineering that you may need to do it, and it will be much more, you know, seamless because there is a direct customized solution that you have built for that platform.
Right. So yeah, if I understand you correctly, so these are basically other no-code platforms, is it? Like who we could partner with, who help develop mobile apps. So
no. Let me say there is a platform that has. It could be, let's say, okay, what comes to my mind first is either a CRM platform or a education platform.
Okay.
Basically, education service which sells to a university or to a school, etc.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or a CRM platform that that could create an app to integrate the services and with their customer.
Yes. Correct. Now I understood it. Now it's clear. Yeah. So basically, other SaaS platforms, and we explore potential of collaborating with them or partnering with them. Definitely, it will open up new avenues. We are considering that. We actually also consider partnering with software agencies. Last time when I connected with Sanjeev ji, he's my mentor, we had an extensive discussion about these sort of potential partnerships. And definitely we are considering and exploring that. But these seem to be the most sensible ICPs to go after, at least in the early stage.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pushkar, this is Tirumala here. Could you just nuance what you mean by SaaS founders? I mean, this is a very generic term, right? I mean, can you just walk us through the nuance of that?
Okay. So basically, what I mean here is a non-technical SaaS founder, someone who wants to start a simple SaaS or micro SaaS business, like a niche CRM for a particular vertical, but doesn't know how to code. So that is the customer persona that we are looking at. He wants to start a SaaS business, software as a service business.
So let me pause you here. So do you mean people who are yet to start or after starting? Means have they registered the entity, pre-registration, post-registration?
Right. So yet to start. So better phrase. I mean, I should better phrase it as idea stage SaaS founders.
Yes, I mean the nuancing your target core customer is very, very important. Otherwise, I mean it looks like a big TAM, but
Right.
Tirumala,
targeting
that's the big thing in this case, right? And
Yes.
when the companies are in the market or they are no longer a stealth stage companies, right? In his Pushkar's case, identifying putting prospects itself because they are not widely available in the market is a big trick, right? So other than
exactly
web searches and things like that, but otherwise reaching it out. So that's a big topic between me and Pushkar and his sales guys. We are having a discussion on.
Right.
Easier to figure out a list of SMB companies, but there is no list for these companies.
Right. And these two are totally different animals. I mean, the value proposition as we nuance it might be totally different.
Absolutely.
from
And
those two.
that's the reason two value props have been submitted. And the third vertical is what Rajiv is talking about and all that. We spoke about it, but currently, given the limited bandwidth, the decision or thought was they stay with these two. Maybe over a next few weeks, as we see more data, more customer feedbacks, we may change and move to other stuffs.
Right. No, my only point was as we nuance it more and more, the targeting will be more sharper and sharper. Otherwise, it will be more generic. That's the message I wanted to convey, not just to Pushkar, but everybody else as well. So.
Yes, totally agree.
I appreciate that. I think in Pushkar's case, maybe it's in my mind and his mind now after having discussions, but it needs to get articulated pretty well from the perspective of people who are looking at it.
Right. So it's not correctly phrased. I should be very clear in my phrasing because this is a very obvious confusion that cannot.
Right.
I just want to add something on top of it. I just got the idea after listening to Tirumala, right? So the main focus over here is to sell this apps to early stage founders who want to build their product, right?
Exactly.
Now, the thing is that what sort of products they can build, that depends on what sort of features the product your product provides, right? Now, it could also break into two stages. One could be to build your app and go out into the market early and see what traction you are getting, right? Number one. Number two, what else you can do is that you can go out to existing businesses and sell your tool to them that so you are buying a specific tool for CRM, right? A specific tool for, let's say, tracking your leads, right? And multiple such tools. So you are spending money on all of that. Why don't you buy my product and build an internal dashboard or build an internal tool? So I think that will also help businesses to cut cost. So you can sell that as well, because you can sell that instead of buying 10 tools for your business, you can buy mine and you can create 10 tools. And we know that in India, B2B apps, like people do not want to buy B2B SaaS apps because they want to build it internally.
Exactly.
So that can be a good proposition as well.
So that is our second customer persona, the small business owner who wants to build an internal CRM, but he wants to build a customized CRM that is sure his users will use. So he doesn't go to Zoho because his people don't want Zoho. They say, I want to build my own CRM with my language or my workflows. So he can go to a no-code platform and he can build it as per his liking. So that's our second customer persona, and that's also very promising one.
Right. And
we'll stop now, because otherwise we'll run out of time.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks,
I think
thanks everyone for
interesting
the comments and
field.
feedback.
Let's have offline discussions. Let's move to the next startup. Tanmay, if you can take out your presentation on Goldfish supply chain. Yeah.
The time starts now.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. This is our presentation for the day. So what is Goldfish? We aim to offer warehousing services on a pay-per-usage basis through a unique tech platform. The platform will simplify warehouse and logistics management, enabling customers to remotely operate multiple outsourced warehouses efficiently. Who are our customers? Our customers include anyone who needs a warehouse either for storage, for 3PL, or for e-commerce fulfillment. And traditionally, they are of these four categories: brands, big brands, D2C e-commerce brands, manufacturers, importers, and exporters. What is the problem that we are trying to solve? Basically, separate warehousing process and technologies for traditional retail and e-commerce leads to inefficient inventory management. Using warehouses of marketplace like Amazon and Flipkart is highly inefficient and leads to higher costs. And any company that wants to scale up or enter into new geographies, you need to have warehouses in those locations to have proximity to the customer, which in turn leads to higher costs and a lack of flexibility. How are the customers addressing these issues before this? They have no choice but to run their own dedicated warehouses at higher costs. And they basically operate the 3PL business and the e-commerce business as two separate verticals, and each of them have their separate dynamics. What is the solution we want to put on the table? We want to create a network of warehouses, which will be like the WeWork for warehousing. It will be warehouse as a service, which is asset light, and it will be pay-per-use basis. To support that, we want to build a SaaS kind of a tech platform that will offer managed service provider, model services. The platform will be agnostic to different marketplaces, and we can the platform will be able to integrate with different softwares in the market like TMS, OMS, and different kinds of softwares used in the supply chain domain. We have a lot of use cases because we have worked with more than 100 different kinds of B2B customers. I'll just read out a few of them. D2C brand PowerMax used our distributed warehousing fulfillment network to operate a multi-brand, multi-channel, multi-seller sales strategy, and they have been able to increase their sales by 30% and reduce the cost as well. The second case is an importer based in Delhi got an opportunity to enter into other markets pan India using our flexible warehousing service, and that scaled his business by 2x. A chemical manufacturer uses our warehouse to store and supply imported raw materials to his factory. We have cases where auto OEMs use our warehouses near a car manufacturer to ensure JIT, just-in-time delivery. Say a retail store interior designer who designs shops for brands like Nike, Apple, Adidas. They use our warehouses to cater to projects that happen pan India. So these are some of the cases. There are many more. Why now? Now, basically, the traditional customers are now warming up to the idea of outsourcing their supply chain and logistics. In fact, D2C brands operate in an asset-light model right from day one. And the main reason, sorry?
30 seconds more.
Yeah. So the main reason or the main impetus for this is the COVID or the post-COVID scenario where e-commerce has really exploded. And that is why we feel that this is the right time. How is our solution better? Basically, we operate in an asset-light model, which makes sure that the costs are lower for the customers, and that we are building the SaaS platform such that the technology headache of handling the technology is not there with the customers. This is the buyer persona. I'll not go into the details. The value proposition statement is our ready-to-use warehouse network helps brands, manufacturers, importers, exporters who want storage, 3PL or e-commerce services by providing warehousing and logistics in an asset-light and pay-per-use model to provide low-cost solutions with flexibility while giving a user-friendly tech platform, unlike asset-heavy and costly solutions traditionally available in the market. Yeah.
Tanmay,
Yeah.
questions?
Hi, thank you for that. I had a couple of questions, as in, who is your competitor at this point of time? Who are the other players that you see who can offer competition? And the second thing is that, what is the biggest challenge that you are facing right now?
Okay, so the first question is regarding competitors. See, there are two types of competitors. The first set of competitors are traditional 3PL companies, which are large, multinational companies having a large physical asset-heavy business. Names like Mahindra Logistics, TVS Logistics, VTrans, people like that. or Pune Nagel and UPS, for example. And then there are some tech-driven startups. There is Prozo, Emiza, the eShop Box, to name a few, who are trying to who have built a tech platform, and also they are in the omni-channel space, which is e-commerce services as well as 3PL services. So they are our competitors. The second question was the biggest challenge that we are facing right now. Right now, it's about scaling up and acquiring more and more customers, so that we want to be able to have a network of warehouses, and a network of warehouses is only viable if there is that much traction and offtake with the customers with the number of customers that you have. So yeah, this is the main challenge we are facing right now.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's move to the next startup.
Anjan, once again, could you walk us through the problem sheet once again, problem slide? What are the problems your target customers are facing? Okay, can you take one of the specific segments and walk us through this again?
Okay, so let's take an example of a D2C brand who is selling on any of the marketplaces or on their own website. So what are the challenges that stuff in your inventory gets split across different warehouses, so the cost of inventory is higher, plus there is no control over the fulfillment process, there is no visibility of returns, yeah, so that is an example of a problem. Now the solution to that is to put the stuff in a marketplace.
No, I'm not asking about the solution. I'm only asking about the problem, right? I mean, you said returns, you said visibility, you said cost.
Yes, the solution. And the most important thing is that you can put your stuff in only one warehouse in one warehouse of Amazon or one warehouse of Flipkart. If you want to have a national level presence, it is very difficult to put it in multiple warehouses of Amazon, from a single location. There are a lot of logistical challenges in doing that. And have not in the absence of having a distributed warehousing network, your end logistics cost always increases. And secondly, the algorithms of the marketplaces are such that if you don't have your inventory in multiple locations, you will not get orders from those locations.
So with your okay, the solution will come later.
Yeah.
But I think my simple suggestion would be, because each of your subsegments are quite large in themselves, the problem can be specifically articulated for those respective segments. I mean, the problem articulation is very generic here.
That's right.
Since the focus of the session is only on that problem, target customer problem and value proposition, I'm just restricting to there.
You're right about that. We'll rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll rewrite the whole thing.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sunil, you're the mentor. Any comments on your interaction with the team and initial comment on the problem and the solution they're offering? Sunil Gupta.
Can I come in the meantime?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in these businesses, Tanmay, there is a balance of power between the customer and the service provider, which changes depending on location, depending on the customer need, depending on customer buying and whatever. So that balance of power, how do you inbuild this into your business model? If you favor the customer, then you are acting against the interests of the warehousing provider. And if you favor the warehousing provider, then you are acting against the customer. So how do you really balance that, if you would like to tell us? Because then your real value proposition will come out.
So Sanjay, hello. Can I take that answer, or
Yeah,
Sanjay?
sure. Sure.
So you're absolutely right about that. There is a lot of complex dynamics that goes in, and it is very different, depending on what the case is that you're dealing with. But surprisingly, what we found out in the conventional traditional warehousing model, the entire network of warehouse operators, they work on a reciprocal arrangement basis as it is, because it is impossible for everybody to have warehouse in all the locations, and nobody individually can service a customer, with because they don't have warehouse in all the locations. So they're very, very open to partnerships. And of course, each relationship has to be taken care of very carefully. So we've been very, very careful about who we choose as partners. And we've been, of course, it's a challenge. You're absolutely right. There are challenges, but we've been, treading the whole thing very carefully about who to choose as partners. But essentially, the customer is he takes the final call. If he takes a decision as to how he wants it, then ultimately the service provider has to fall in line. So it is important to understand how the power operates in the decision making. You're absolutely right about that. Those challenges are there.
Yeah, you need a very robust strategy to figure that out.
Absolutely.
We'll continue the discussions in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Vivek.
Thank you.
Thank you, Goldfish. We'll move on to the next startup, which is IntelliAssist. Ashwani.
Hello. Hi. Hope you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Ashwani from IntelliAssist. So I'll start with the problem which we are solving. So we call it the 97% problem. So basically, a typical marketing funnel has 3 stages. One is, top of the funnel where, your all ad spend goes on, like $629 billion every year. And most of the ad agencies work on this layer where, they plan the ads and, so basically they optimize for more clicks and more traffic. Then there is a mid funnel. Mid funnel is the stage where, when the user come to the website, looks at the product, and then actually end up, add to cart, or does the final, do the actually show their interest. And then there is a bottom of the funnel, which is like where they actually do the repeat purchase and other things. Now there has been a lot of solution around how to get improve your clicks from the top of the funnel. And then there are solutions around something like one-click checkout or loyalty solutions which optimize the bottom of the funnel. But because the mid funnel has a big problem that 97% of these users are anonymous, there has been no solution to solve or to optimize that part of the that part of the funnel, and that's what IntelliAssist is trying to solve. Now, how we are solving it? We are basically building doing a customer journey optimization. So from the moment when the user clicks on the ad link, when they actually do add to cart and checkout, we are basically optimizing that journey. And how we do it? We have a plug and play product which basically integrates with e-commerce websites. It analyzes user behavior in real time and interact with the anonymous visitors. And these independent UX components can be personalized and controlled by our decision engine in real time. So basically, our product affects the user journeys in 2 ways. One is it pushes more visitors towards the checkout. Second thing, it build trust and inspire the visitor to share their voluntary information, because these days, privacy is a big concern. And I'll just take that to the next slide. Now, why this solution is important for now and why it is in demand is because Google is phasing out their third-party cookies. Apple has already done it. So there is even lesser information about the user when it comes to the e-commerce platform, and their customer acquisition cost is increasing every day. So profitability in a focus, and they want a solution like us, which can help do the personalization in a cookie-less manner. From the technology perspective, UI frameworks are now advanced enough to create, that kind of modular systems which we have built. And artificial intelligence frameworks and LLM are also really helpful to building these kind of solutions, which was not possible a couple of years back. I'll just come to the value proposition statement. Our product helps D2C e-commerce companies who wants to improve their profitability by helping them converting more anonymous visitor to customers by optimizing their acquisition funnel and improve their return on ad spend. Unlike just trying to solve the their customer acquisition cost at the ad channel. Yeah, I think that will be the.
I think you guys finish in 3 minutes, 30 seconds. But take it, good. At least you managed to do that well. You covered most of the topics. Maybe the mentor could say something.
I don't see their mentor on the call, Ashwani. I'm not sure if you.
Yeah, Ashish is my mentor. I spoke to him yesterday, not today.
No problem. Okay. Open for comments.
So Ashwani, one of the things which I'm very intrigued with, again, it's obviously in today, it's a very relevant problem today. But what's your, I'm probably jumping the gun, you will cover it in a module 2-3 weeks down the line, but very, very intrigued to understand what's your revenue model in this? Is it per conversion basis, or it's just about subscription basis? What's the current revenue model? And can you really measure the impact by looking at it in 2 different silos and say what's the improvement which has come in and do that?
Yeah, so I will answer the second question first. So we definitely improve. We definitely are able to track, because see, we are impacting the user journeys. So we know that which user our component has interacted with, and because we have all the data. So we can definitely tell our customer that, hey, these are the customers whose journey which we have impacted by doing, either helping them with the product discovery or inspiring them to share their email address and so on and so forth. So we have all the data, so we can definitely have a very granular data that how we have pushed the user towards the towards the end journey. And so as of now, so when it comes to the monetization or the pricing part, typically and our primary market is US, so we're looking at US as a primary market. Typically, at this point of time, most of the SaaS, D2C SaaS, businesses are subscription based. There's no outcome based, pricing. Very few, SaaS companies are doing outcome based pricing. But the things, the market is changing because as the profitability is being hit, now D2C businesses are pushing more on the profitability, and so they want their SaaS vendor to also commit some kind of some kind of outcome. And again, we are at the initial stages, so that's why our initial customer, we are kind of guaranteeing that outcome. But again, it's an early stage for us, and we still have an initial couple of customers. So how the pricing will go on, only the time will tell. But yeah, at this point of time, we are, we are trying to make it outcome based, kind of a thing.
Thanks, Ashwini. And the reason I asked is I actually love pricing constructs which are outcome based. Used to do that in my services, and I firmly believe if you can construct a right outcome based pricing construct, then the price becomes immaterial for your client, because then you are selling against value instead of other comparisons, right? So that's the philosophy with which I like to work. Maybe
even I agree with that.
As you go ahead, I do want to have again, just because of my personal interest in the field, would like to spend some time with you guys to understand this better and see if there is a room for doing it without taking too much risks, because it's important to figure out how you measure it and your customer accepts those measurements. So that's the first step. Yeah.
So I'll connect probably on one-on-one and show you the demo, and definitely we get the feedback.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I have a question for Ashwini.
Go ahead, Mona.
comment. Yes.
Yeah.
So Ashwini, thank you. That was a lovely presentation. It was very clear and less text heavy. So it was something that was very interesting. 97% problem is like sitting in my head as the title. So yeah, it's really great. So here's a question and also suggestion if you deem fit. One is with that 97% problem, ultimately based upon your initial, work that you've done with your current customers, where do you see the funnel, contracting in terms of 97% problem? Does it become a 79% problem, or does it become a 69% problem? Just asking. And if that at the end of your deck, if that could be there in tech after all the text. So you start with the funnel and you end with the funnel with the problem and the solution. I think that will stick in anybody's mind.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good point. So far we have seen that out of those 97% anonymous, visitors, we are able to capture from anywhere from 7 to 15% of the user and data, and that capture is voluntary. So that's what the number is. But yeah, definitely, I think that's a good suggestion that we can start showing that how we are actually impacting that funnel and how we are planning to into the future. Yeah.
Any more questions for Ashwini?
Sanjeev, with your permission, I have a small point here. Ashwini, please allow me to be the devil's advocate here. I want to see the value proposition slide.
Just a minute, I'll just share it again.
See, I mean, who is your target customer? D2C e-commerce companies. Okay, at a broader level is clear. What is the pain you're solving for them? If it is profitability, there are many levers to profitability, right? It can be price, it can be cost, it can be, there are many levers. Why should we only pick this lever to address profitability?
So I have captured it later. As you can see, I have specified the North Star metrics, which is return on ad spend. So of course there are many levers for their profitability, but when it comes to their their online sales part of it, return on ad spend is a North Star metrics which all of them chase. And given that the customer acquisition cost is increasing because of multiple reasons, one is overall inflation, second is third-party cookies are going away, so ads are less and less effective. This is the North Star metrics which we impact, and we measure this metrics for our customers.
No, you measure it, that's fine. But I'm just saying for your customer, with respect to this particular problem, return on ad spend is the problem, or is profitability the problem?
So return on ad spend is the metrics which they track, which basically signifies the profitability. So there is no profitability metrics. There is a return on ad spend is the metrics which almost every e-commerce business track, and that is their one of their North Star metrics.
So they might track it, but I mean, in terms of you focusing narrowly on a particular aspect of the problem, right? So should you define it, your value proposition, or what pain you're solving for your customer as return on ad spend, right? Which is much more narrower.
Okay. So yeah, basically because I defined the metrics later, I try to specify it more, more conversational manner, more user
You can
friendly
just
manner.
flip it around, Ashwini. It'll look much more focused, right? The end result could be improve in profitability, but you have a better return on ad spend and a optimized CAC.
Yeah, optimized.
Right. Thank you, Ashwini. Good presentation. With this, we move to Vishwa.ai, liver lettuce, Mohit.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hope you can hear me fine. Let me share my screen. Please let me know if you can see the screen.
Not yet. Yeah, if you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your screenshot mode? Not sure.
Sorry.
I said, is this your slideshow mode? But go ahead anyway.
Yeah, just a second. Maybe. Right. So the problem statement that we are trying to attack at Vishwa, to set the context, is with the advent of GenAI, we know that the businesses can extract value from GenAI, both in reducing the cost of operations as well as unlocking new revenue potential. So there are tons of studies that have sort of indicated that. But what is also abundantly clear is that the GenAI based apps are very tricky to deploy, very hard to deploy because of the complexity, the choice of models, the performance time, the time it takes to respond, and their reliability, like the hallucination effects, all of those technical challenges that are there. As well as for small and medium businesses, they don't quite have the expertise in-house to build these kind of apps for production. So that's a kind of the lay of the land of the problem statement that we're trying to attack. So our vision is to empower the businesses with AI-driven automation. And in the spirit of talking about the USP and the target audience, as you were connecting before, we are designing our product for the product and business teams. So which means the persona in a company of a product manager or a business process owner. That's who we are designing for. That's why it's a no-code platform. It allows you to seamlessly define these automation workflows. Behind these automation workflows, the task of doing the model selection, what we call assistants, doing the model selection is taken care by the platform. So whether it's Llama 3 that works for you, or ChatGPT 4.0, Llama 4 comes, ChatGPT 5 comes, that is the end consumer is not bothered with that. We will take care of making sure that the latest and greatest models are being used. We enable the businesses with very simple integrations with whatever tools and workflows that they are using, whether it's they're using Zoho, Notion, Google Drives, Slack, wherever they're using, whatever they're using in their businesses, that's where we integrate and make sure the integration is smooth. And then we also promise that there is a reliable and continuous evolution. Means it's you deployed it now, we make sure that the solution remains competent as well as keeps on improving, as I mentioned, Llama 4 or next series of ChatGPT models and so on and so forth. So that's our vision and value proposition. So this is sort of a slide which encompasses quite a bit of things, but focuses on the business value proposition as well. The direct business value proposition is we have specially trained and tuned models for every use case. And I'll go into an example very quickly. We have robust self-training systems for these businesses so that we learn across use cases and they keep improving. We offer automation as convenience and optimization, and it helps to unlock new revenue as well. I'll not go into the GTM pricing and sales aspects right now. To give an example of one kind of assistant that we are working on is named as DEX, the data entry assistant. So the target audience for DEX are in a fintech company, it's the fintech product manager. For a restaurant ops company, the restaurant ops guy who looks at menu digitization. And in like a company like a pharma sales company, it's a sales operation guy who's looking at the sales order, which is an unstructured document, and is trying to digitize that sales order document. So the data entry assistant is essentially taking an unstructured document like a menu or a sales order or even credit card statements from different banks and converting it into a structured document which is needed for the internal workflows of the company. So that's the persona, and that's kind of a assistant that we are building. There are a couple of other assistants that we are also working on. These assistants are DEX is already in the market, but we are also working on marketing as well as support manager and e-commerce. I'll not go into that. The business value proposition based on the template, the way we were talking about it, and pardon me, I just took a shot at it right now. Our product helps product managers and business process owners, particularly in small and medium businesses, to use these specially tuned, trained models for specific use cases. We provide robust content.
We have to stop now because you already exceeded more than 45 seconds. I'll give you another 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm done, Anjana. This is the last. So robust maintenance and have this automation as a convenience to improve the productivity, thus reducing cost and unlocking new revenue.
Thanks.
Thank you. Comments, questions?
Hi, this is Rohit. Rohit Sehgal. My question here is that, do you have the technology to be able to handle such a wide array of business cases across industries, or do you think that something that you need to probably focus and start with one big use case, sell it to a number of customers, and then expand from there? Just your thoughts on that.
Right. So we've been debating that as well, Rohit. There are two answers that the page we are on. One is the way we built the platform, the product itself, the product capability has allowed us to make these assistants very fast because the scaffolding and the engineering systems required are there. For example, the first assistant that we worked on, which is data entry assistant Dex, took us about 2 to 3 months to get to where it was. But for the next one, the marketing one, because a lot of the building blocks were there, it took us only 2 weeks to build a marketing assistant. So that from a tech perspective, platform perspective, that has allowed us to move fast. Now the question is from the business side and the marketing side, would we be able to do justice in cracking the market with each of these use cases? And that's where we are at. We believe that there are 2 points of use that we are figuring. If there is one rock solid super hit assistant and that we've already hit and that we are seeing traction and it's already a unicorn kind of a business, we will essentially just focus all our energy on that. Versus if there are 2, 3 business lines, so to say, that we have, we'll continue to experiment with them until we sort of hit one where we see all legs full steam ahead on just data system. That's quite honestly where we are at right now.
No, I think that's a great way to think about it. The other question I had was just in terms of, so where is your market? Is it in the US or is it in India?
It's global. We would want to focus primarily on the US, UK, Australia market. We have customers from Australia right now.
Yeah. So, I think, that will be another challenge. I mean, if you go too broad, that will be another challenge in terms of you'll probably need Salesforce in these geographies, or I don't know whether it sells automatically over the web, but I have not seen anything sell so automatically. So that, and also the pricing. I'm sure you've thought about the pricing, and we'll come to it later. But what is the kind of price you can command for an assistant like this?
Right.
There are some questions on my mind.
Right. So the way we are seeing is essentially what the page we are on is we don't want to do classic enterprise sales. We do want to sort of go towards product-led growth. That's our long-term sales strategy. Obviously, the initial few customers have come through our contacts and connections directly. And the pricing is such that it does not really support enterprise sales teams as such. And the way we understand the market, it's sort of a bimodal market. If your price point is less than 10K per year, you don't really do enterprise sales. And that's the model that we have chosen, that we know that each of these use cases is not a multi-million dollar pain point for every customer.
Right.
So that's how we sort of segmented the market, and that's what we are focusing on.
No, absolutely. That's the right way to think about it. That is yours a $100,000 a pop product, or is it a $10,000 a client product?
Right.
And then your go-to-market needs to be, and then you need to see whether you can make money on that.
Yeah.
Or how many products will you need to make?
Mohit, your entire business seems to be based on a problem statement, which is less believable in. So have you done any research, market research, to establish that the problem statement which you write is really true?
Right. So we do have customers, paying customers, for a couple of these assistants already.
No,
And
but
yes, this is based
did they come to you after they had problems on Gen AI, or did you just make a good pitch and they came to you? So that's
So
a
it is interesting. So these were folks who had already tried Gen AI. They tried ChatGPT 4 and failed to use it. And they have even gone to consulting companies, solution providers, and failed. So it was a very easy sell for us. They had this problem that they were trying to look for solutions in these cases.
But
And
I really don't know, when you go to the marketing phase, you might have got 1 to 10 customers you'll get, but a real strategic construct seems a little. I'm a strategy person, pure strategy person. So I think the foundation needs to be refined a bit. You could attempt to do that and maybe still be having a better framework for growth, rather than take something which crashes down later. Consider it.
Sure. Yeah, I would love more detailed feedback, Sanjay, in terms of exactly how to make sure not to fail.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sanjay. Mohit, you and me chatted. You had you had some reservations around the mentor assigned because of some apparent conflict. I don't understand the issue at this point of time, but my suggestion would be you, Vaibhav and Anjanda could have a 3-way call to figure out how to go about it. Not taking, I've already told you, not taking any actions for last 7, 8, 10 days doesn't reflect well, because your mentor on the other side is waiting that there will be a mail coming to establish contact with me.
Yes.
Right? So
that's our bad.
Actually not,
Apologies.
just because you thought there is a conflict, it's not fair to not reach out to him, is what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah. Acknowledge.
Okay. So Vaibhav, you have the answer of why they were not reaching, and the other thing which Mohit, I noticed, I kept reaching out to your first founder Sai, but didn't get a response back. So
yeah, there is some.
If you are the primary contact and we don't talk to him, or his numbers were incorrect, I don't know, but just let's figure that out, because
I'll talk to you separately after this call quickly, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay, the next startup I'm going to present is Amazing. Tarun? Tarun, you seem to be on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm there. And in interest of time, we do have a video clip as well. So I'll quickly just play it. It's a 90-second clip.
As long as you're speaking in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Give me a second. Not able to share. Okay. I hope you are able to see me, right?
Are you a brand looking to
Are you
grow
able to
through
hear it?
social media?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Are you a brand looking to grow through social media? The performance marketing costs have been growing exponentially for a lot of brands. And therein lies a very interesting new channel of influencer marketing, which brands really want to leverage. But when it comes to influencer marketing, brands find it really tough to really optimize for scale and be predictable about. Very simply because it's a lot of data, it's a lot of operations. Usually in an influencer marketing campaign, there are 5 steps any brand has to go through. They have to find the right influencers, they have to evaluate whether they are the right fit or not, then they have to activate them as per their briefs, do all the back and forth, get the content going, then approve them, get it posted, approve their payments, and lastly, monitor the entire reporting. What we do is a bunch of productizations across all 5 steps. We help you find the content creators with the right geography, right demography, right language, right interest, evaluate them on the right metrics which matter for the brand, and activate them as per the content and brand guidelines which the brand has. All of this leads to a pretty seamless process for the brand. We are the single provider for the brand, single MSA across 6 countries. and help them process the payments, no matter how many influencers are there, be it 100, 200 or 500. And lastly, the entire reporting automation stack. We are developer partners to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and therefore we are able to give them the real-time metrics, making our dashboard pretty much comparable to their Facebook or Google ad dashboard. So that's what we do.
Yeah. So now let me just quickly jump into deck, and I think it would be pretty straightforward from here, right? So what we do at Mezink is we are an AI-powered solution to enable brands to do influencer marketing consistently and predictably at scale, right? Generally in the context of marketing, and just now IntelliAssist was also talking about the marketing funnel, right? And I'll straight away go through that itself, right? There are three major parts, which is awareness, consideration, and decision, right? And a bunch of budget is spent for awareness, more than 628 billion, as they were also saying, right? In this, conventionally, brands have been investing in performance marketing ads, right? And a bunch of budget goes there. But influence marketing is another channel which helps them lead to that awareness at a higher return of ad spend, right? And that is where influence marketing really comes in. And this is the problem statement for most of the brands, right? But when it's about influencer marketing, right, there are usually these 5 steps which every brand has to go through. And across them, there are a bunch of pain points for each of those brands, right? They have to find the right influencers, they have to evaluate them, they have to activate them, they have to monitor the reporting, and they have to manage the entire payment cycle, right? What Mezink does is a bunch of optimizations and productizations across all 5 steps. And therefore, our solution, our technical solution is not only a SaaS, but an outcome as a service, which also we were talking about earlier, right? So we charge our brands by the outcome, right? We tell them that across a particular budget, what is the ultimate awareness or ultimate reach which they are getting. And therefore, our brands start dedicating a particular budget instead of Facebook ads and Google ads to influencer marketing powered by Mezink. So that's mostly about Mezink. I think a bunch of other slides just to illustrate some of the case studies and all. But that's our problem statement and that's our value proposition, right? That Mezink is an influence marketing automation solution that helps brand run data-driven campaigns to achieve defined KPIs across the funnel. Hopefully, I'm in time.
You're very much in time. You're very much in time. You've actually got some. I was thinking you'll go through. Let me tell you one thing. You know, the video is good, but you have to keep it shorter, and you've got, because you've not covered a lot of your things in your presentation. And I think you have to look at the overall template and see how you start covering those things up. And
sure,
keep your presentation at less than 30, 35 or maximum 40 seconds. But going forward, sort of a video clip in an investor pitch or in a demo day pitch will not work. I don't see.
Of course. I think it was mostly just to have a better context within this meeting itself.
Right. That's my comments. Okay, go ahead.
Got it.
Anjita, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, Tarun, who's your mentor?
Saujanya.
You did not get. Yeah, you didn't get time to talk to her, I guess.
No.
Yeah, I was actually just raising my hand to say I haven't heard from any of you, Tarun, or your co-founder in the last 10 days.
We dropped an email.
No mails. Call up. Talk to people. You've got the numbers.
Yeah, I figured that because I think Tarun did not prepare for today's session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think so. So I think he recycled some other presentation. Tarun is very important. Not just Tarun, everyone. There's a reason why the presentations are drafted and formatted in a specific flow, and it's very important that you stick to that. Okay, I know it takes time. I know you need to work very hard. You have a lot of other work, but this is the foundation. If you don't do it in a proper manner, things will really get difficult later on. I think Tarun's presentation did not address the topics that we wanted to hear from Tarun today. That is one major thing. I think he has a fabulous product. He's very good in preparing the presentation, and I think he articulated what he wanted to say, but it was not within the framework that we wanted today. So it's very important, everyone. Please you need to follow the template, and you need to start at the basics, right? So and that video did not help at all, because you repeated the same way, the same thing in the presentation. So it was duplication, and you actually you usually lost that opportunity to say other things that you wanted to say. That's very important. Now, I know it's easy to present a presentation from a cloud platform, but henceforth, please create a proper presentation on your desktop, convert it into a slideshow, and then present it. Don't show anything from Google Drives. It will not look good. It will not look professional, especially when it comes to the demo data.
Okay, let Rajiv, I'll add one or two things. See, on the topic, your topic should be at least 30% of a presentation of that week. Balance 70% will be overall. So unless you actually capture the essence of the topic, you will not be able to prepare for the demo day. And each topic is actually scientifically designed to ensure that you cover up most of the points which an investor will be looking for. So if you're not prepared, I would rather have you not present rather than present, which is not going to work out correct. Okay. Anyway, thanks for presenting. You've got a good product, as Rajiv was saying. But let's stick to our school days. Thanks.
Sanjay, you had raised your hand, Sanjay Nagi. Any questions here?
Yeah, I really don't know in the whole spectrum of what constitutes value to a customer. Some of the mechanical parts he seems to be doing well. But that might not be the real value to a customer. The real value would be return on investment, because you make big investments in influencer marketing. So that didn't come out really, that whether they are able to impact on that or not. I think that the whole proposition, the foundation of the business has to be that. If you take care of the small nitty-gritty automation and MIS, etc., you will only get that much value, because if you take care of the bigger value, you will get more value. So I think
Exactly.
we need to go into this a little more detailed manner. It was not very cogent to me, but I think the potential of what you're trying to do is very high.
Got it.
Thank you, Sanjay. So we move on to the next startup, Moneyflow. Piyush.
Hi, Sanjeev. Yeah, I'm here. Shall I present?
So, yeah, go ahead.
Right. Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yep.
All right. So presenting customer value proposition from what we can provide as Moneyflow. Okay. Starting with the problem. The pain of the customer is basically that, okay, first starting with the customer, our customer is a D2C brand or an e-commerce marketplace seller. When I say e-commerce marketplace seller, it's a person who does not care about brand building. They just want to sell goods and make money out of it. That's the core outcome that they want. While for D2C brand building is a major aspect, and they primarily want to do it on their own channels, like their own website. So we cater to both. So anybody who's selling on e-commerce is our customer, and they would typically use 5 to 20 different software tools like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Shopify for selling, Razorpay, Cashfree for payments collection, logistics provider like ShipRocket, and so on. So main problem is that they are utilizing a lot many different tools, and all of their data is scattered on this problem on these channels, which leads to very complicated decision making, because they don't have a real-time understanding of what is happening in their business. And on the flip side, these platforms constantly keep on formulating different kinds of charges, and which are by themselves very hierarchical or structured and keep on changing. So customers do not have a proper predictability on what they are going to make or what their cost of selling is going to be like. This pain is not apparent to newer brands per se, or they are willfully ignoring it for some time. But once you scale to like a 50 crore GMV kind of brand, this pain becomes big. And on the bottom line, what we have seen that 5 to 20% of the times, like of the money that they are making, they are losing out. So the core effort required for a customer to address this today is that they'll have to do a lot of manual effort, collect data from multiple sources, put it in one format. Basically, manpower problem. It becomes a manpower problem to them because there are very few or no good solutions. There are some competing products out there, but they are not as detailed or as good. Solution with the example of a use case. Let's say we have an owner of an e-commerce brand. That person has no real-time understanding of how the business is performing. How much products did I sell today? What did I make out of it? What was the mix of the different channels? Like, did I sell 100 products on Amazon and 50 products on Flipkart? What happened? If something is going wrong, am I making profits as I expected? All of this information is not available to them. What we can provide to them is improved decision making, that I can tell you what every product is making on every channel, what your cash flows are looking like, when you'll get paid, what's your marketing spends ROI from the bottom line point of view, how you can understand, like, is selling on Amazon a particular product making sense, or should you only be selling on Flipkart or your own website? Any kind of data analysis that you want to do, it can be fast and efficient because we have provided a chat layer. So if you had a person, you would call them, ask them to crunch the data. Within 5 days, they'll come back to you. You can do that in 5 minutes. So that's the core value proposition. Why now? Because the problem currently being solved, like I said, is manual data effort primarily. There are some cases where existing tools have taken over, but not a lot. The trends that make this solution possible are the recent AI trends and the post-COVID e-commerce boom. With the e-commerce boom, brands and sellers have seen an explosion in the volumes that they are doing. So their top line has grown, and consequently their bottom line leakages have grown. With the volumes of transaction that have grown, their manual processes have become even slower and even more inefficient. And the AI wave, which has helped them create content for marketing and all, can be utilized in building faster, intelligent products. Why our solution is better is because we ask for zero effort from the customer. This is something we realized while working with customers last year, that even if we leave 10% of their effort, they are not satisfied with that. They want to give the complete headache to us, right? We are very accurate, like much more accurate than any manual process or any other software tool out there. And we basically keep on top of the financial health of the company, provide them alerts and notifications or insights and recommendations on the business levers they can use to grow. So it's a very data-driven intelligence approach to e-commerce business. I had created these personas. I'll quickly cover the basics. This value proposition is from the point of view from a worker in the company that will be utilizing our product. This person is responsible for doing the reconciliation, P&L workflows, all of which are manual and very painstaking tasks. So for this person, the benefit is that
instead, I'll give you 20 more seconds. You've already exceeded for more than a month.
Got it. So I'll skip this part. From the buyer's point of view, they get a unified information, and I'll just focus on the core value proposition statement. Our product helps D2C brands and marketplace sellers. So anybody who's selling online on e-commerce marketplaces who want to improve their profitability and stay in control of their business. We provide them a unified view of their business or product metrics, and we enable them to make data-driven decisions, which is unlike brands that shoot in the dark and just rely on manual processes or just focus on the top line. That's the core value platform.
How close to a product is this, and how much of service is involved in this?
So as of now, this product is ready with a few platforms. Like we are live with 4 marketplaces: Amazon, Flipkart, Shopify, and Myntra. we are constantly adding new features and new marketplaces. Shopify basically means that we have to also integrate with payment gateways and logistics providers like Razorpay, Shiprocket, and so on. So the product is ready in use. We have paying customers. And the intelligence part, we are currently pushing or have tried to push as services, but it will take some time to evolve as a product.
Hi, this is Rajiv.
Hi, Rajiv.
I have just two comments. The first thing is just a hygienic one. Hygiene comment. Your backdrop is reversed, so I think you cannot make out from your system. So, okay.
I had to intentionally reverse it because to me it is showing correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So second one is let's come to the user persona canvas at the back. So right now, I think they've provided two different templates just for you to select which one to use. Now, when you do a product market fit, it is very important for you to analyze who's your customer. Here, your customer is the company, which is the enterprise, which is subscribing to your service or buying a service, right? So you need to do a value proposition only for that.
Then this is a better slide because this takes care of the deliverables for them.
Yes. And when you do an institutional or a B2B sale, you'll have different elements, different entities over there within the enterprise who you'll be interacting with. Like a user will be different, the decision maker will be different, the influencer will be different, right? But ultimately, it is the enterprise which is buying your service. Right? So that is what you need to focus on. Thank you.
Yeah, one of their big customers potentially can be consultants. That's why I'm asking how much of productization is that and how much, because I have at least two cases right now who are asking me the same questions which he is attempting to answer. So, they don't have those answers. So they are coming to me as a consultant. Now, if I get a solution like him at the back end, I make money, he makes money. So one potential the interfaces have to be figured out and the business models have to evolve. But solving a real, genuine problem for sure.
Thanks, Sanjay. I'll just put a comment to that. There are some cases where we have tried some strategic partnerships and we are still trying to figure some of them out. There was one like e-commerce consulting agency we had reached out to last year. This particular agency works for a brand of another IIT Roorkee alumni that was one of our trial user. But since they had paid them for 1 year, he did not shift to us. This particular company, when we reached out that we want to partner with you, they got a little bit threatened that, okay, maybe these guys will eat our business. So I'm not sure how to navigate then conversation as of yet. So that is somewhere where we can get some help because we have ran into this situation a few times where the persona of the person that we are speaking to, they feel that, okay, this person will do my job. Sometimes it has been of the persona of the person who is actually executing the job instead of the person buying the job. So maybe that has been a trouble. We have not maybe reached the right target audience in that case. In some cases, like currently we are exploring partnership with some marketplaces where marketplace itself is trying to explore like if we can become their white labeled solution provider.
Right.
So
when we get to GTM, we'll probably answer those questions.
I have a comment for Piyush and maybe others. The one thing which strikes me in this one and a couple of previous ones is when we are defining the value proposition, if you would just go to here, what you mentioned here, or even here. So this is perfect, but I think when we know whose value proposition for whom, I don't know whether it is in this format or whether it will come later, maybe Anjanda can tell. Because Will it be D2C brand means can it be, will Hindustan Unilever use it? Will Myntra use it? Will the roadside flow use it? Who will be using this? Because this is a very generic thing, and I think if we have a little clarity, then you will not run all over the place. I mean, whether you should. So I don't know at maybe what stage this has to come in, but I'll just make this comment. And Anjana, you are on mute.
So better segmentation of the market, you're saying.
You're absolutely right. The customer recognition is one module which we'll have, where we have to actually define who actually is our
So
product.
Anjan, later in the deck, we have a coverage of customer segmentation where he will have to probably segment the D2C brand maybe on size or something like that to become more focused on it, right? So
yeah, there are multiple areas which we need to cover. I think marketing, go-to-market itself is about a 5 session stuff, where each of these things are equally important, because at the end of the day, that's what IIT Startups is all about. We are here to look at the business angle point of view and recognize that. Thanks, Gaurav. That was an excellent point.
Understand. Thank you.
But
I think we'll have to do a bit faster.
Interesting product with a lot of potential, if you ask me.
Sanjeev. Okay. So Rohit Sehgal is our mentor. I have connected with him like once, I think once or twice. On Monday, Tuesday, we had a detailed call, but nothing post-start. We'll continue our conversations.
As long as you continue your conversations with Rohit. Rohit is a very involved mentor. So, any comments, Rohit?
Yeah, no, I think we had a couple of very good calls around what their entire business was about. It was not just focused on the value proposition. I think we'll set out, Piyush, some kind of a schedule. Maybe we need to also look at kind of the draft of this presentation before we present it. It'll be good if we can have one review. So we'll figure it out. I'll talk to you and we'll figure out maybe 1 or 2 interactions before next Thursday.
Yeah, we'll set a bi-weekly cadence, something.
Yeah, something like that.
That's it.
Thanks, Rohit. Thanks, Piyush.
Thank you.
The next startup is Neuron Technologies. Sandeep. They weren't there last week. There wasn't really a message, so I don't know whether they.
Let's go to the next one.
Intend to. We just need to check back with them, Anjanda, once they really need to want to continue. Otherwise, get rid of them.
So I'll have a word with them. Neuron AI, right? Okay.
Okay. The next one is Tiny Crows. Vibhor, Supreet.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it visible now? Yeah, I didn't click
Yeah,
on
it
the share
is.
button. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we're Tiny Crows. To define a company, we assist businesses in fortifying their security posture at a rapid pace using our team of professionals who specialize in application and cloud security. So to bundle our services, we can say that AppSec is a service is the thing which we provide, which has multiple segments. Assessments like threat modeling, penetration testing, or cloud security review, or integrating security tools in their development pipeline, which is namely DevSecOps. We can provide security consultation as per their requirements and develop their own internal security team, which will be the part of security champion program, and help with general awareness, as in how to be aware about cybersecurity in general. So that's kind of an umbrella for our services. Moving on to the next slide, which is the pain of our customer. So as the applications are being developed at a faster pace using agile methodology, the requirement for securing the product is more continuous, and essentially this requirement can come from multiple sources like the stakeholder, the users, the compliance or regulatory authorities, and the constant evolving threat landscape. So ensuring a continuous secure product delivery for small enterprises, small and medium sized enterprises become a pain since they don't have the resources, awareness or the budget for this particular domain. So how is this issue being addressed in today's market scenario? So today VAPT or vulnerability assessment and penetration testing is the primary focus for these organizations. They perform these assessments or hire third party vendors to perform these assessments and generate a report to see if their product is really secure or not. While this is a good way, while the report is good in terms of advocating if the product is secure or not, there are few issues with this, which is like this cannot be performed on a frequent basis as the product is being developed very fast, and the iterations for the new releases are being uh, launched in the market at a faster pace. The VAPT approach cannot just match the pace for it. And many a times after performing the assessment, some security issues are found which require major changes at code or infrastructure level, which can delay the product timelines or essentially go to market timelines. So that's the major pain of the customers which we're trying to address. So demonstrating a company's value proposition. So essentially, in addition to act as a third party vendor which perform assessments, we also act as an internal security team for the company itself, for the organization itself, and help them navigate through their security requirements and essentially help them develop their security posture better. So our on-demand application security as a service allows our customers to leverage our service, leverage their expertise in improving their security posture at a faster pace. So we have listed down a couple of use case. So in first use case, we got the requirement from one of our clients who wanted to onboard a bigger client as their customer, and they got a requirement from there in terms of a security assessment. uh, the initial problem which they mentioned to us in terms of assessment was very different from what was the actual requirement from their customer. So essentially we acted as consultant and helped them navigate through the actual requirements, which, as I mentioned, like there's a lack of awareness in the domain. The second use case is where we had a client who wanted to offer their SaaS services to financial companies, and they had various regulatory compliances which they wanted to clear. So what we did, AppSec as a service helped them integrate tools in their development lifecycle, uh, which is now helping them achieve a better security posture at a much faster pace. Right. So the problem, as I mentioned earlier, the problem in today's market is being solved by using VAPT. And the trends which support our solution can be identified according to PWSs would be security are most prominent in the industry. A breach report says that uh, having a secure development lifecycle helps save more money in case of a data breach. For compliances like ISO 27001,
You've already
secure
exceeded
coding is
your
now a
time by
requirement, and so is
Sukhit,
for
yeah, you better stop now. You've exceeded by more than a
okay.
minute.
So I'll just tell the value proposition statement. Will that work? Okay.
Anyway, I'll give you 20 more seconds.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, okay. So I'll just jump onto here. So our application AppSec as service helps digital who want to secure their applications by proactively identifying cyber threats and reducing time to secure their application, unlike end moment security assessments. Yeah, so that's the value proposition. Thank you.
Thanks, Preet. Questions, comments?
I think I'll make a general comment right now. Please do a dry run, record it, spend about half an hour on that. And going forward, please write down your script and ensure that it's within 400 words. If you keep it within 400 words, the entire script, you'll be able to keep time. This is for everybody, not only to succeed. It is bound to happen. You're at a very early stage. You guys will improve tremendously over the period of time. But I just thought start keeping that in your mind, and as we go ahead, we'll continue on this. Thanks.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Any other comments or questions?
Why the name Tiny Crows?
Yes. So crow is a smart animal. It has a hacker's mindset. So you must have listened the story where a crow wanted to drink water out of a beaker. So what it did was it hacked the problem. It used pebbles to fetch the water from it. So crow is a smart animal. It's also considered as Odin's eye in Greek mythology, and in Hindu mythology, it's uh, you know protector of wealth. And if you see a symbol, like what we have done is that the crow here is looking towards the left. So this emphasizes a shift left approach.
I think this is a message to each one of the startups. Your philosophy has to reflect in your company's name and logo, which they seem to have done well. Great.
Yeah, it's a lovely story. I'm just wondering if crows are animals or birds. just being very just being very picky here. Yeah.
So Sanjay,
And I think your logo is also coming in as reverse.
Yes. Actually,
In
Vibhor
which
and I
case,
just discussed in the starting on the Zoom
okay.
call. Yeah, it's being reversed.
I'm not
All
sure.
right.
Same photo is working different for Supreet and me, so we'll solve it out.
It's basically the
I
settings
think in the
So
settings you need to check the mirror setting in Zoom.
Yeah, I'll take a look. Yeah, I just
the
googled it.
Preet's crow is looking to the right.
Yes, it should look to the left.
Thank you so much.
So ye crow move ho gaya, huh? Wonderful. Good to have some humor also. Go ahead.
Great,
Sanjeev was our mentor. So Sanjeev, if you have any comments.
No, look, I've had multiple comments while discussing with you guys, right? And right at the onset, when I was asked to mentor you, I had a view, maybe my bias, but I did talk about scalability of ground. As you start looking at some of your offerings as a product and delivering it, but even then it's to be delivered by people. So you will have to think, if you are thinking yourself as a startup, how do you create tools and frameworks that it is not increase in business equal to increase in number of people. Absolutely no problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and thanks, Sanjeev. This is how you are helping us, right?
Yeah, I want you guys to make a decision which path you want to take, right? So
right.
Okay.
I think with the iterations we can solve the challenge.
So the last one for the day. Drive energy comes in. I want to commit that next week we will probably flip the order so that the guys with T and V don't end up in the end. They start the show. Go ahead, Vaibhav.
And presenting. So what we are enabling is a continuous underwriting framework
for solar insurance.
However, your voice is very faint. I don't know, it's only for me or for everybody. If you can try and see
Hello.
closer to mic.
Is it better now?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. So what we are doing is we are enabling continuous underwriting for solar insurance, and this has a direct effect on the profitability of the insurers and responsiveness and transparency of the product that they're selling to something that's going to be a very important part of the energy mix. Our offering is API calls, which give you a very site-specific risk score for these solar sites about the underperformance risk, climate risk, and they also help you process any claims faster or validate the claims faster. The problem, our customers are insurance companies, brokers, and risk surveyors. The pain point that we're trying to solve is that they can evaluate risk more frequently now that they have access to low cost and database frameworks. They can identify more dimensions and characteristics of these performance risks, and they can, and therefore they can improve their profitability and sell quicker. And right now, these insurance products are not as responsive as someone would want them to be, and they are really irrelevant to the evolving mix of climate risk. And how do the customers address this issue today? How do they sell solar insurance? They engage third-party risk surveyors who happen to be costly per inspection basis. And this also lacks transparency. A lot of kickbacks are given. Claim processing timelines, and it's non-standardized. There's a lack of technical data. What people end up doing is using Excel-based model, which is again based on risk surveys, limited and costly data. This visual about how parametric insurance, which we are building, which we are enabling, works, and how the conventional insurance works. You can see that the intensity, the timelines, they're faster. They can quantify risks better, process claims faster. And then why now? So as we speak, solar energy has like a lot of solar plants have crossed the age of 5+ years, and operators have already started running into inflated cost, losses due to performance loss, and intensity for solar insurance policies to include underperformance and climate risk. What is lacking is a database framework to actually build those and sell those products. When they hire third-party consultants, auditors, it's a slow process. The quickest they can be on a smaller plant is 2 months. Bigger plants take still larger time. It's unsustainable. There's a lack of standardization and transparency, as I mentioned earlier. They can't continuously underwrite or perform audits because it's costly. Why our solution is better? It's basically low cost and granular data pipelines. This is a value prop chart. So the gain creator, the primary gain creator is data models that quantify asset degradation and risk. And the tool we're using is low cost imaging and actual material degradation that we're able to estimate based on these images. The services we are ending are API calls and a risk visualization portal, pain reliever, before versus after comparison based on data and images. And the gains are claims get processed faster. The products are curated for every site. Customer jobs, I'm sorry, it's yeah. So customer jobs, so you can auto generate your policy renewal quotation after every 12 months based on the data that you generate for that site. And pains, they are able to identify characteristics of risk on a continuous basis. So this is the pain point we're solving. Value prop, our risk evaluation algorithm helps solar insurers and brokers who want to improve their profitability and risk evaluation frameworks by quickly identifying risk characteristic and eliminating costly and undependable manual site inspections. And they process claims faster with a transparent operation, unlike depending on third-party audits, which lack repeatability and scalability. That's it.
Thank you. Just about it time. Questions, comments?
One comment, universal comment. Guys, you got to animate your presentation. कुछ picture लगाओ, cartoon लगाओ, कुछ तो लगाओ.
But a couple of points.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Came up
Come on,
to, left to the eyes, So is around the risk, and you mentioned that there are evolving climate risks. What are those evolving climate risks that would you be attributing the whole solution to?
So if you look at
I can't hear, sorry, it needs to be,
hello,
I can't hear you.
can I?
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
let's take a few examples. If you look at the wind speed patterns, heat waves, and earthquakes, floodings, uh, forest fires. So these are the risks that we talk about when we talking about climate risk. And how they impact these solar panels is these solar panels are constructed out of very thin, about 180 micron and lesser dimensions of silicon wafers. And these solar panels have bunch of different type of materials inside them, aluminum, silicon, and all of these contract and expand at different rates when subjected to mechanical or thermal loads, right? So this is what gets applied when it comes to climate risk, and then develop micro cracks, which lead to efficiency losses. Now, when you look at a solar panel via our imaging techniques, you can actually quantify, like I'll simplify it. You can actually quantify the area, and based on that, when you correlate that area with the electrical data that you're collecting, you can use images to actually uh, get a sense of how resilient this site is, and how it could react to such risk, and how it has been performing, or how much is it at risk of underperformance. You can also quantify the extent of underperformance, the age of these cracks, and so yeah, that's a brief idea about it.
Okay, so I think some of these risks, climate risks, have been there for the length of time that we are talking about in terms of installation of the solar panels or the windmills, or your solar other infrastructure. So they are there already, okay? And then there would be the evolving ones. So it would be good if there could be a clear distinction between the present and the evolving ones, okay?
Yeah.
So that needs to be there. And the other is my question that, and I think I'm getting an answer from you, which is how does, your digital help in terms of preventing an on-site or having advantage over on-site inspection? Because many of these equipments, they rely on on-site inspection and then photography and uploading of all of that to be then able to assess what is the scenario in terms of the entire insurance aspect of it. So how does your solution help to or gain an advantage over the on-site inspection?
So it's about time. Uh, so these plants are about a kilometer by kilometer wide, the large plants, commercial plants. If you do manual inspection, you'll have to deploy at least 10 people over the span of a week. What we do is we use drone imaging, and within 30-35 minutes, we can cover an entire plant. And yeah, so that's the
So
time.
how reliable, so in terms of the customer feedback, how reliable is this imaging?
So the good news is that these imaging techniques have evolved over the years. They are not new. The hardware is very capable. The plant operators have already adopted these frequently, once or twice in a year, and they basically rent a drone and do some imaging, and they manually spot the defects. Just large outliers they spot manually, and these techniques have been approved by IEC, which is a regulatory body when it comes to electrical components. The On the production side of solar panels, these techniques have been in use since a long time. When they test the panels at the end of the production cycle before dispatching. So these techniques do the pre-processing and building a deep learning model so that you can see it from a height with variable angles uh, and under different conditions, right? So that is
Got it. That I got. Yeah, that I. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Any more comments, questions? If not, I'll pass it on to Anjanda for the closing remarks of today's session or.
Yeah,
So, Sanjeev,
I don't have any remarks today. Okay. Except I'll let Tony say a few words on the upcoming session, and if she has any comments on, she would like to talk about certain hygiene factors. I thought she would be the right person to do that. And with that, we'll close the stuff. Tony, you're there? Yeah.
Yes,
Hi.
sir.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, this will be my first session. So I'm always in the background. I play different roles. I play a very smart investor who's looking into what all things you're doing. A junior fresher analyst who's just there for the demo day, because you need to understand that out of this cohort, your target audience is your audience who will come for the demo day. So you have a very good set of mentors who will guide you to create the pitch, but I will play those roles who are going to attend the session. So first, few things. Your background. Need views on. Redefined is hidden by Divya's name. So these small aspects just make sure they stand out. Even the dress that you wear, when your background, it should not get merged. You don't want to look like a ghost in front of everyone. So just keep those things in mind. Lighting, another thing. I really like the way Tanmay's face is all lit up in the background. So that's a good thing. Make sure you stand out. Then few things which during this presentation, energy is very important. You are going online, okay, and people will be busy with if there's a lady, there's some washing machine going on. If there's a guy, so a lot of distractions will be around. You're not looking at the person to the eye. I could see Anjanda, scratching his ears. Vaibhav looking at the side, or some noise came. So a lot of distractions are there. So you have to break that. So sometimes put some emphasis. Divya, your presentation was fantastic, but it was a monotone. So after some time, I'm like, Acha, okay. Then I started seeing my daughter, oh, what is she doing? So even though I might be interested, I'll get distracted. So make sure you get your audience back. And that will happen only when you rehearse your speech. You know when to lay emphasis on which word. Each word plays a role in your 2-minute pitch. Make that count. Then a few things about the presentation. Keep it very clean and simple, and less word, more visuals. Every cohort, there is one startup whose business proposition, value proposition, or what the business is, I never understand. And this cohort, the title goes to Tiny Crow. I could not understand anything. I'm sorry, but I could not understand anything at all. There were so many words. I was like, oh my God, is it my history book that I'm reading? Or what is it? So I'm really sorry. I got so distracted and so overwhelmed by so many words. I just lost it. And the only thing I remember is your Tiny Crow, when they protect. And the Pebble story, because my daughter was sitting over here. She's like, oh, I know that story. So maybe that's relatable, but the entire presentation, I could not get anything. So see how you can connect with your audience. Okay, I don't know anything about your product. You're showing it to me for the first time. You're pitching for the first time. I don't know any history about you. So you have to capture me in the first 30 seconds itself. Otherwise, your 2 minutes are also gone. So with that, you have to have a strong start. How will you make your services relatable, your product relatable? So I might be an investor in the, fashion or e-commerce or SaaS product, different sectors are there. You will have to identify whom you want to reach out to and make it relatable. That first 30 second, that start, the first sentence itself should capture the attention. Otherwise, again, you lost the audience. And especially this is especially for the last ones. Be in between to break the monotony. But so you have to do that when it comes to the end. You have to end strong also. So that is another thing. Another thing which I observed, Vaibhav, yours was the last one. I could not get the name. I see one PV, but I remember Sanjeev sir mentioning some other name. So stick to one name. Which name do you want the person to remember? So that you have to identify whether it's the brand name or your company name. Those things you please make note of that. Then another thing is timekeeping, very essential. It should not happen, Anjan sir saying, oh, you have 40 seconds, and you're like, okay, aage piche, done, okay, yes, thank you. You know, so for that reason, you have to be prepared. Your script should be ready. You should be calm. You should know in and out of your presentation. That confidence, that passion, that should come out. Only then will people show confidence in you. So they're going to invest money. They're going to invest lakhs. It's not 10, 20 rupees. They're going to invest lakhs, crores on you. Why should they do that? If you are not sure of what you're going to pitch, or you're not confident, you're not able to tell your business within 2 minutes, and you're expecting them to make a decision about crores based on this 2 minutes, how is that possible? So make it to the point, defined, and just drive your products and services in their heads. Now coming to mentor connects. So past few cohorts, we've seen the connects happening. Keep it organized, make it meaningful, make that will help. Okay. And if is very that is all from my side. I'm sorry if I was very blunt, abrupt, but that's how it is. So do keep these things in mind. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much. So you're on mute,
Yeah,
sir.
thanks, Sunny. I wanted to tell one thing. We started with 31 people and we're down already 23. 8 kahan mar gaye. So please note that it's important for all of you to attend the entire session. It's not that the guy who comes in and presents it in the beginning goes off. That's not acceptable. Okay, so please ensure that you have allocated this time and stick to this time. Do the community learning. It's important for us to do that. And also, we'll be having our first, I won't say masterclass, first session this Sunday between 10:30 to 12 by Sony, where she'll be talking about branding, makeover, and many other things to our cohort members and also our previous cohort members. Thank you so much. Anything else? Anybody else would like to add anything? Otherwise, we can enjoy the rest of the weekend,
Yeah. I just wanted to add one more comment to what Sony said. I think I see there is a little bit of bias in terms of how the founders are responding to women and men, and I've seen that many times. And I, in this particular session also, I saw that somebody said, let me simplify that. If I'm asking you about something, maybe I know a lot about it, or maybe I don't know a lot about it, but just to say that I'm simplifying it, it immediately puts us on the back foot. The other is, another question was asked and there was a semi-technical answer was given. And I see a more technical answer being given to, the other participants. So that's something that I would like to share and say that please provide enough, similar kind of responses to both genders.
I didn't actually figure that out. Okay. How did we say it?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Okay, we'll close the session today. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week ahead.